Hey everybody, and welcome to the North American Star League Season number 2. I am your host, Andre Greator Pengshua, and today we have a lot in store for you. It is going to be week number 1 and day 4. A lot of exciting matches coming your way. But before I go on and go into it, I do want to give a huge couple announcements a little bit. Of course, we are the North American Star League. You can find out more information at www.nasl.tv. If you're interested, go ahead and purchase an HD Pass. That HD Pass, what it does is it gives you 1080p quality, so you can see this handsome face all day, every day. You can watch VODs of me because it entitles you to VODs, and you can also watch me without commercials getting in the way. That's just more Greator for your life. Of course, you won't be seeing me that much though, because you're going to be seeing some games, which is the more important thing, and that's what we all love and are really looking forward to. And speaking of the games, let's go ahead and get into them. So this is going to be the list of the matches today. We have Inca versus Ret for game number 1, Sen versus Select for game number 2, and to wrap things up, Sherlock versus In Control for game number 3. I can't wait to see them going at it in some heated battles and on some heated maps. Emmett, there we go. Those are going to be the maps that we have. The Shattered Temple to start things off. Then we're going to be moving over into Xel'Naga Caverns. And last but not least, we're going to be heading over to CREVASSE, if it gets there, to that best of 3 series for each of these matches. One thing I want to just say is that I'm in love with these 3. I think these are probably the best 3 that I've seen, just because I like how, it's pretty balanced, I think, for each individual map, and it gives a lot of variety going into it. Let's go ahead and look at the first map, the Shattered Temple. Now, the Shattered Temple is a Blizzard-made map. It's important to note it's the NASL's the Shattered Temple, so we are going to have 9 versus 3 positions and 12 versus 6 positions. What this does is facilitates macro games. It takes away from the very, very abusive dropping and fast air, which is mostly strengthens, I think, Banshees the most and the Medifacts. But, you know, it takes away a little bit of that, still gives that option, and at the same time, you know, strengthens the other races so that they are able to really, really get into the gridiron and start doing those longer macro games. Of course, there is the 2 base timings, 3 base timings, but in general, I love the Shattered Temple. You always see that 3 base high aggression, and when you say 3 base high aggression, you see huge battles going down, especially with that gold expansion. Moving over into our next map, we have Xel'Naga Caverns, one of the most, I would say, the most well-respected maps of the entire map pool of, you know, both Blizzard and NASL. Xel'Naga Caverns has been used over and over and over again in every single tournament you've ever seen. It's touted as one of the stronger maps that's ever been created for a one-on-one. A lot of things can go on this map because it is that one-on-one situation. So we've seen cheeses, proxy gateways, proxy barracks, even to an extent, cats, proxy hatcheries. And we might see that. I'm almost assuming that Ret is not a player that goes proxy hatcheries. Same thing with Sen. But just to let you know, it's in there. Definitely a lot of cheeses that can go down in all these in all of Xel'Naga Caverns. But I'll be looking forward to that. If things go to the third match, we are going to be cleaning things up on our good old map CREVASSE. And I love CREVASSE just because of the openness, the huge, huge map that it is. You have that middle that's so spread out. You can do a lot of micros, a lot of flanks, things like that. And on top of that, you have the capacity to play a little bit more enclosed. You can do 2 base timings, 3 base timings even. But, you know, the options are endless. You can really play any style you want on CREVASSE, and it can have a lot of success no matter what. So those are going to be the maps. I'm looking forward to them. Really, really quick, if you want to go ahead and check us out on Facebook and Twitter, we are facebook.com/NASLTV and twitter.com/NASLTV. You can find out a lot of information. We make all our announcements right there, and it's just a good way to stay in touch with us, to let you know, hey, these are when the matches are coming up. This is when we have extra content coming out, and it's all just a juicy, juicy stuff. So definitely keep in touch with us at NASL TV. let's go ahead and get into the individual matchups, starting with the last one. So we have, to round out the day, Strelok versus In Control. Now, Strelok is from Team FXO Imba, and he has been playing a lot as far as I know. I know that he has the one forum post where he's really telling everybody, I'm going to be training at least 7 hours a day. I'm going to be going to the gridiron, really trying my hardest to become the best pro gamer in the world. Now, he has been doing that. He's also been competing in a lot of tournaments, I know. So I don't know if that affected him or not. I'll definitely be looking forward to seeing how he's going to be playing, as he did qualify for the NASL Season 1 finals, but was not able to come because of visa issues. He's looking to do the same thing in Season 2, minus the visa issues. That'll be awesome. But his opponent is going to be our good old friend, Evil Geniuses, In Control. In Control is touted as the EG Capitan. He is really, really strong Protoss, one of the strongest Protoss in all of the North American scene. He's had a lot of success in the MLGs, although not too recently. He has been slumping a little bit, but I would say he's reworking his mechanics, that's for sure. I know he's been practicing very hard in the Evil Geniuses Pro Team house. He's been there in Arizona for quite some time, playing, I think, around 8 to 12 hours a day. It's very rigorous. I talked to the Muslim, I believe, yesterday, and he was telling me that everybody's very, very serious, and they all want to do their best to win in Starcraft 2. So those two players will be pitted against each other. I'm interested to see who's going to come up on top. Match number 2, we're going to have Sen versus Select. Now, Sen, originally from Team Fnatic MSI, which is my old team. We were both teammates. It was a really, really good time. Now we've kind of drifted apart. He's in Team Gamma Bears. Of course, I'm with NASL. And he's looking really, really strong. So, Gamma Bear Sen is looking to take a win off of Select. We can see that Sen is pretty strong player. Finished 3rd place last season in NASL Season 1. He's also done a billion of things. His style is so dynamic. We've seen him play, you know, all these aggressive matches, and behind all that, he can macro perfectly. He won't miss a larva inject. And what I really like about his play is that he always introduces those macro hatcheries. I see that in every single one of his matchups. ZVP, ZVT, and even ZVC, I've seen this. He gets macro hatcheries down, and he just has a ton of larvae to use on a ton of drones and zerglings. And you see him just being so strong in that early game, mid game, and end game because of that, because he just gets a huge boost, kind of delays tech, and takes advantage of that time where there's not a lot of timing pushes against him. His opponent is going to be Select. Now, Select is from Team Dignitas. Select also has been playing monstrously. Recent MLGs has been getting some very good results. On top of that, the BlizzCon Invitationals for the North America server has been won by Select. He took out Chef in a very, very epic series. If you haven't already, check that out. Select is looking really, really good. Tip-top shape, I would say. And I feel like, you know, it could go either way. The multitasking of Select is very extreme, but I think Sen has what it takes to stand up to that. It's all a matter of time. We'll definitely see in match number 2. So to start us off, we do have Inca versus Rhett. Inca is looking fantastic. As of recently, I've actually been able to observe some of his games, actually download his replays and kind of ninja'd his style and everything, but I really like his PvZ style. Now, Inca is from Quantic Gaming, which is a very, very strong team. They have a lot of other very, very strong players, and Inca has been, you know, a new addition to it, but already qualified for the NASL Season 1, and he's looking so good. One thing I do want to note is that his style revolves around Immortals and High Templars. That's the style that I really, really like. I've been using a lot in ladder, and Idra, after talking to him, and Machine, they say Inca is so scary when he goes that style because it's just so retentive. You can keep all your Immortals after every single battle, and on top of that, just build High Templars, build High Templars, and it kills things like Infestors very easily with feedback. It's able to storm, do that AoE damage, and the Immortals are so scary when there are mass roaches out there, which is the common thing just because roaches are so accessible to the Zerg. We're going to be seeing how Inca goes up against Rhett, as Rhett is quite a strong macro player. Let's go ahead and check his stats. It is going to be tough Team Liquid Rhett. He's been on that team for quite a long time. He is considered one of the strongest, I would say, the strongest macro player outside of Korea. He's definitely shown his skills in all of the MLGs, and he's also recently won the BlizzCon European, the European tournament, European tournament. He defeated such powerful players such as Naniwa, who is currently training in Korea. Of course, Rhett did train in Korea, and I would love to see him back there showcasing his skill yet again. But for now, he's going to be playing in the NASL Season 2, and I think it's going to be a very, very epic match against Inca. Looking forward to seeing that. Nevertheless, that is going to be the matches. So before we get in there, I do want to give a couple of huge shout-outs. Shout-outs to our sponsors. It's going to be Azo. You can see our monitors are Azo quality. Azo makes some of the most fantastic monitors in the world, top-of-the-line quality, especially for gaming. It's so important so I can watch my ultra-setting Starcraft 2 on my computer. Of course, with my iBuyPower computers, we stream, we capture, and we watch, play Starcraft 2 on ultra settings. It's such a treat for me because I was actually used to medium for quite a long time, but then I switched over to iBuyPower. Some really, really cool stuff because I can do everything. We produce everything off of 1080p quality, and that's done with the iBuyPower computer. So definitely, definitely check them out. Huge thanks to both of them. It's the best way to watch and play StarCraft for sure. Lastly, I want to thank the fans out there. Thank you guys so much for supporting us and really giving us your feedback. That's the most important thing. You've seen a lot of changes go on through Season 1 and Season 2, really. It's been night and day completely. Season 2, as you can see, we're just so much better at what we do, our transitions, everything. And that's all in due to you guys at home. You guys have given us a lot of support, and on top of that, a lot of constructive criticism, and we read everything. Let me assure you, we read everything. So go ahead, go to support@nasl.tv. Actually, don't go to it. Email us, support@nasl.tv. We read everything there. We are a community, or at least I always like to call it, we are a community project. We're a little bit more than that now, but we're a community project. We all love StarCraft. We all try our hardest when we're playing, too. We get a little frustrated at it, too. It happens with the game, but it's an awesome game, and we all are so passionate. That's why it's a community project, and I feel that to be a community project, we need your input. Again, all of the changes that you've seen here are probably like 70–80% in due to your part in helping us become a better organization. So huge thank you out there, and please, please submit what you like, what you don't like, what you think is okay, and we are always going to be working upon that. Anyway, enough of me rambling on. We're going to go ahead and get into the matches right now, starting off with Inca versus Rhett. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this break.